Hey, what's up? Lightboltjoe here. Today we're going to discuss the 1997 cult classic film sequel to Jurassic Park, The Lost World Jurassic Park. The Lost World Jurassic Park, or simply just called The Lost World. This is an incredible sequel because there was a lot of expectations to live up to the 93 Jurassic Park. So it took 4 years to make this. Steven Spielberg was back to direct. Kathleen Kennedy was back to produce. I'm going to go down my list to not butcher anyone. Jeff Goldblum is back as Dr. Ian Malcolm. You have Pete Postlethwaite, I can't say his name, as Roland Tempo, the bounty guy that he is. Julianne Moore plays Dr. Sarah Harding. Arliss Howard plays Peter Ludlow. Richard Attenborough is our one and only John Hammond. Vanessa Chester is Kelly Malcolm, who is the daughter of Jeff Goldblum's Dr. Ian Malcolm, and Vince Vaughn plays our one and only Nick Van Owen. Now, this is the first movie I ever saw Vince Vaughn in. Obviously, I've seen Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park, but when I was a kid, because you gotta realize this came out in 97, so I was 7 years old when this came out. I didn't know who the hell Vince Vaughn was, but I wanted his action figure. That's what I knew I wanted. So my brother and I had a bunch. I still have most, not all, most, of the 97 The Lost World Jurassic Park toys from Kenner. And that was a weird time period because Kenner Toys was actually being bought by Hasbro. So everything was still under the Kenner label, but it was actually produced by Hasbro. So we are all still very upset, us toy collectors, that Kenner is no longer with us. R.I.P. So this film, you have John Hammond hiring Dr. Ian Malcolm, trying to hire. Oh, Lex and Tim pop up very quickly at the beginning of this film. John Hammond is not doing well, and InGen is the company that basically runs operations of the park, of Jurassic Park. Now, Jurassic Park was on Isla Nublar, which is off the coast of Costa Rica, and Isla Sorna is where they actually, like, did all the fancy science stuff, genetically engineered the dinosaurs, had them birth out of the eggs, you know, raised them, and then transported them to Nublar. So the first movie takes place on Nublar. The second movie takes place on Sorna and San Francisco. And then the third movie takes place on Sorna, and the fourth movie, Jurassic World, takes place back on Nublar, where the first park was. There's a little in-betweens and stuff. And then Fallen Kingdom takes place on Nublar again. So you got, as of right now, there's 5 Jurassic movies, 3 of which take place on Nublar, and 2 of which take place on Sorna. Okay, so Julianne Moore, this is Dr. Sarah Harding. So Sarah and Ian had a love thing back in the day, and they broke up. So she's still bitter about it, but she is a paleontologist. Nick Van Owen is a photographer. Who was it? Who was the guy? Who was the other guy in their party? Hang on, I missed his name. Eddie Carr, there you go, Richard Schiff. Richard Schiff is Eddie Carr. So Eddie is with Nick and Sarah. Eddie is the, weapons guy. Nick is the photography guy. Sarah is the paleontologist. And then they needed someone who's familiar with the island. So that's why John asked Ian to go with the group to just make sure all the animals are okay, because obviously they have escaped from their habitats. Now, Ian obviously wants nothing to do with this, but once he finds out that Sarah is already there, that she knew that he would say no, but she was still going to do it anyway, she went. While this is happening, Kelly, Ian's daughter, sneaks onto a RV, transports to Sorna with everybody. So it's the 5 of them now on Sorna. While this is happening, InGen has their own plans, because there's a Jurassic Park that's being built in San Francisco, and John doesn't know about it, and the team that John hired doesn't know about it. So InGen then goes to Isla Sorna themselves while the team is there, collects all their dinosaurs. Let me tell you, when that Paracephalosaurus gets roped and dragged down, it still hurts my soul. I feel so bad for that dinosaur, even though it's CGI, but it's just painful. And the Pachycephalosaurus just getting trapped in the claws, and he smashes a truck, and it just, man, like, leave them in their habitat. Don't collect them. One of my favorite scenes in this movie is the breakout scene when heroes, if you will. Of course, there's raptors in this movie, of course, but the T-Rex is the main focus of this movie because the T-Rex is a child, and Roland Tempo is a bounty. He's a collector. He's a big game hunter, so he wants the big game. He wants the T-Rex, but then he also wants the baby Rex as well. So there's a breakout scene when when Ingen is doing a broadcast saying, yeah, oh, and Compsognathus, the little compies that we see in the beginning of the movie attacking that little rich girl with her roast beef sandwich. Compsognathus. There's compies in a cage next to this guy who was it, Ludlow? Was it Peter Ludlow? I think it was Peter Ludlow, doing a broadcast for the San Francisco Jurassic Park saying, yeah, this is what we'll have, and he's doing that thing, and then our hero team takes the pins out of everything, and then there's a stampede of dinosaurs everywhere, and there's a Stegosaurus running amok, and Gallimimus is running everywhere, and it was just so cool watching that stampede. The T-Rex scenes were incredible. The T-Rex face through the waterfall, creepy as hell, which kind of spurred the Universal ride, the Universal Jurassic Park ride with the T-Rex at the end of the waterfall kind of a thing before you drop. Now it's revamped for Jurassic World, where you got the Indominus Rex popping through, and then the T-Rex still coming at you. Incredible. And another favorite scene is when Isla Sorna stuff is done. Ingen gets the female T-Rex and the baby after they break the baby's leg, and they're trying to fix the baby's leg in the RV, and the RV careens off the cliff, and Eddie gets eaten, unfortunately. But the cinematography on that, I'm just still blown away with that upshot with the glass breaking under Sarah, and then the rope, and the RV just dropping down. Me and my brother Vinny and I would recreate that with his toy RV so many times. We beat the hell out of that RV. Let me tell you, I was 7, he was 5. So a 7 and 5-year-old, because that's who these toys are made for, you know. But I didn't know the value of those toys back then. Who would have thought? Those toys were beat to shit. We were tough boys with our toys, let me tell you. That was, it's funny. But yeah, so the San Francisco scene with the T-Rex breaking out and going into the pool to get water and eating the dog and scaring the girl with the fish tank and then running down the street and then running into this, and this attacks this guy on a bus, but then the bus crashes into a blockbuster, and it was just such a perfect 90s movie. It was just 90s. You had all these 90s movies everywhere, the posters everywhere, it was just pop culture galore, and then a bus goes because the T-Rex just careened the bus off, and eventually Dr. Harding and Dr. Malcolm, track the T-Rexes, get them back into the boat, have them brought back to Sorna where they can live peacefully, and then Pteranodon finally comes into the picture at the very, very end and squawks, which is important because Pteranodon's flying, not pterodactyls, Pteranodons, very different flying dinosaurs. Seagulls were flying at the end of Jurassic Park 1. I'm sorry, pelicans were flying at the end of Jurassic Park 1 with the Ingen helicopter for the rescue. Pterodons were flying at the end of Jurassic Park 2, and then you see Pteranodons were a big focal point of Jurassic Park 3. Did I say 3? 2. Pelican 1, Pteranodon 2, Pteranodon 3. Yeah, okay, we're good. But it's just like a staple. It's just like, that's how the movies end. There's a helicopter or a flying scene, and I'm not going to butcher the glorious score that it is, but you see how jazzed I am talking about this film. This was my childhood. I love Jurassic Park still. And yeah, I still have some of the toys from 97, and I'm not going to take them off the shelf. They're up there. Beauties that they are. Of course, they're all broken because I beat the hell out of them. Me and Vinny beat the hell out of them, but we did not know the value of toys back then, and that's okay. Now I know the value of toys, so it's a little different now. I don't have any Jurassic tattoos. I'm kind of embarrassed in myself. Like, I really need like a Jurassic logo or like the inverted Velociraptor skeleton. I think that'd be pretty neat somewhere. I'm thinking more like a thigh or a calf or something. Maybe a thigh, just to get more, because you got more space, got more meat for it. Shaded though, not fully blacked. I think it would be better shaded. I gotta think on this. And to that, I bid thee adieu. And I also say mucho mahalo.